You want to win? You want to rise above the average, the broke, the weak? Then for the next 3 weeks, open your mouth and speak like a warrior. Stop whining. Stop doubting. Stop telling yourself lies that keep you small. Every single day, when you wake up, look in the mirror and speak like the person you want to become. You're not trying to be strong. You are strong. You're not hoping to succeed. You will succeed. Why? Because you decided to. And when you decide, you commit. Period. You've been talking to yourself like a loser for too long. I'm tired. I can't. I'm not ready. Cut that nonsense out. It's not helping you. It's not protecting you. It's killing you. Softly. So change the script. Start saying, I dominate. I get things done. I don't quit. I make money. I earn respect. I am dangerous, disciplined, and focused. Repeat that for 21 days straight and watch your whole identity start to shift. You think successful people are smarter than you? No, they just speak and act like success is non-negotiable, and it becomes their truth. You talk like a beast, you move like one. You speak like a winner, you become one. You sit around whispering weakness into your own ears and you'll rot from the inside out. Here's the truth. You are always brainwashing yourself. The only question is, are you programming strength or weakness? Most of you are installing fear, laziness, and excuses into your system. Then you wonder why nothing changes. 3 weeks. That's all I'm asking. 3 weeks of locking in, speaking with power, moving like a machine, and treating your life like it matters. Because it does. Every morning, repeat power. Every night, review your wins. Catch yourself slipping, snap back. You don't get to talk soft anymore. You don't get to feed your doubt. That's not you. Not anymore. This isn't some fairy tale affirmation game. This is war. And if you're not your own soldier, you're your own enemy. The way you talk to yourself every single day builds your world from the inside out. Most people don't even realize it. But their entire reality is shaped by the words they speak in their own mind. Every time you say something like, I'm tired, I'm not good enough, or I can't do this, you're not just stating facts. You're building mental walls around yourself. You are carving your limitations into your identity, and then you live trapped behind those walls. What you repeat becomes your truth, even if it started as a lie. That's the power of self-talk. People don't get that the mind is a sponge. It absorbs every word you feed it. If you keep telling yourself you're weak, then you will act weak. If you say you always lose, you will find ways to sabotage your own success. Your brain doesn't care if what you're saying is true or not. It only hears the words, and it starts adjusting your focus, your behavior, and your emotions to match what you're feeding it. The repetition becomes belief, and belief becomes identity. Someone who constantly says they're unlucky or broke or tired will begin to seek confirmation of those thoughts. That person will start missing opportunities because they're not even looking for them. Their brain is filtering life through a negative lens. Instead of seeing the shot they can take, they see the reasons they shouldn't try. They hesitate, they overthink, and eventually they quit, not because they weren't capable, but because they talked themselves out of greatness before they even started. On the other hand, someone who speaks power into themselves every day is playing a completely different game. They might not have all the skills, the resources, or the perfect situation, but they walk around with the energy of someone who will find a way. That energy comes from their words. They say, I can handle this, and they handle it. They say, I always find a way, and their brain starts looking for ways instead of problems. They tell themselves, I was built for pressure, and now the stress that would have broken someone else becomes fuel for them. It's not magic, it's not delusion, it's programming. Your mind is like a system that runs on code. That code is your internal dialogue. If your code is full of errors, full of doubt, fear, and hesitation, then your output will reflect that. You'll act like someone who's limited. But if your code is clean, strong, and full of belief, you move with confidence, you speak differently, walk differently, even think faster. All because you changed how you talk to yourself. This is why it's critical to stop saying anything that doesn't serve you. You're not just being honest when you trash yourself. You're building a mental prison. Even if you feel tired, say you're focused. Even if you're struggling, tell yourself you're learning. Even if you're behind, say you're catching up fast. This isn't lying to yourself, it's aligning yourself with power instead of weakness. And this power builds over time. When you do it once, it feels weird. When you do it for a few days, it feels forced. But when you do it for weeks, it becomes natural. Your words start changing how you feel, how you think, how you act. You begin to see yourself as someone who handles life, not someone life happens to. That shift changes everything. Most people wait for proof before they change their language. They want to feel confident before they speak confidently. That's backwards. Speak it first. Force it if you have to. Say it until you believe it. Believe it until you become it. That's how you build power from the inside out. It all starts with your voice. Use it to build the version of you that wins. Every day, every time. No excuses. When you talk to yourself, every word matters, especially the ones that express your limitations. Saying, I can't, I'm too tired, or I'm not good enough is more than just venting. It's creating a mental barrier that holds you back from moving forward. These phrases become anchors that weigh you down, stopping you from reaching your full potential. When you constantly affirm these weaknesses, you're basically programming your brain to accept failure and discouragement as your default state. This kind of self-talk is like running a virus through your mind every day. And the longer it goes unchecked, the more it infects your confidence and your ability to act. The problem is most people don't even notice how often they say these things to themselves. It becomes a habit, automatic and unconscious. You hear yourself saying, I can't do this, or I'm just not cut out for that. And you think it's just normal thinking, but that's the dangerous trap. You aren't simply stating a fact. You're declaring a limitation that your mind then believes it has to follow. This kind of language puts a ceiling on your growth before you've even begun. You're telling your brain that you're not capable, so why bother trying harder? When you affirm weakness, you slow your progress. Your brain takes those words as instructions. It starts to filter out possibilities and focuses on reasons why you might fail or why something is too difficult. You lose the hunger to push yourself because you're already convinced you'll fall short. This mental defeat happens before the physical action. And when you don't act, you confirm the belief you planted in your mind by saying, I can't. It becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. You become exactly what you keep telling yourself. On the flip side, when you stop affirming those weaknesses, you break the cycle. Instead of feeding your brain with excuses, you feed it with power and possibilities. It's about shutting down the inner voice that tries to hold you back. When you catch yourself saying, I'm tired, or this is too hard, stop and replace it immediately with something stronger. Say, I'm getting stronger, or this challenge is making me better. It's not about ignoring reality. It's about refusing to let your weaknesses define you. By cutting out negative affirmations, you start to build mental muscle. Your brain starts looking for solutions, not problems. You gain the energy to take on challenges because you've told yourself you can. This switch rewires your thinking patterns and opens the door for growth. Suddenly, obstacles become opportunities. Instead of quitting when it gets tough, you push harder. That's how champions are made, by refusing to affirm weakness and instead owning strength, even if it feels uncomfortable at first. This change doesn't happen overnight. It takes discipline and awareness to catch every moment when you start to affirm weakness. You have to be ruthless with yourself. If you want to get out of the rut and reach new levels, you have to stop lying to yourself with weak talk. If you don't believe you're capable, no one else will. Your words are the foundation for every action you take, and weak foundations can't hold a strong house. Remember, strength is built by what you say to yourself when no one else is listening. When you cut out those phrases that limit you, you free your mind to imagine bigger possibilities. You create a new identity, one where failure is not the end but a stepping stone. You become someone who fights back, who keeps going, who refuses to settle for less. In short, stop affirming weakness. Stop feeding your mind the excuses that keep you stuck. Start talking to yourself like a warrior, like someone who doesn't quit. This shift alone can change your mindset, your behavior, and ultimately your life. The words you choose to say to yourself are powerful. Make sure they're working for you, not against you. When you talk to yourself, you have to speak as if you already possess the strength, success, and confidence you want. This isn't about pretending or lying to yourself. It's about training your mind to accept a new reality. When you talk like you're already that person, your brain begins to act accordingly. It starts aligning your thoughts, emotions, and actions with the version of yourself you're describing. This is how you make transformation real and permanent. Most people fall into the trap of waiting until they feel confident before they act confidently. They think, once I'm good enough, then I'll start speaking and behaving like a winner. That's backwards. Confidence is a skill, not a feeling. You build it by behaving like you have it already. Your words are the first step. If you say, I am confident, enough times, your mind will start to accept that as truth. You don't wait for the feeling, you create it. Speaking like you already are who you want to be changes your mindset. It rewires your brain to stop seeing obstacles and start seeing opportunities. Instead of thinking, I can't do this, you say, I will figure this out. Instead of, I'm not ready, you say, I'm preparing myself every day. This shift is crucial because your thoughts and words drive your actions. When you talk like a winner, your actions become more bold, more decisive, and more consistent. Your self-talk influences your energy and your body language too. If you say, I am powerful, you'll hold yourself differently. You'll walk with more confidence, speak with more authority, and take up more space. This physical change reinforces your mental state. The way you speak to yourself and the way you carry yourself create a feedback loop. The stronger your words, the stronger your presence becomes. And the stronger your presence, the more likely you are to succeed. This method also protects you from doubt and fear. When you speak like you're already successful, you block the negative thoughts that try to creep in. Those thoughts can be destructive if left unchecked, but when you have a strong, confident inner voice, the doubts lose their power. Your brain starts to filter out negativity because it doesn't fit with the story you're telling yourself. Consistency is key. You have to speak this way every day, multiple times a day, for weeks. The mind resists change and tries to pull you back to old patterns. That's why 1 or 2 days of positive self-talk isn't enough. You need to push through the discomfort. Keep speaking with strength even when you don't feel it. Over time, your mind rewires itself and your new identity becomes second nature. Talking like this isn't about arrogance or ego. It's about owning your power and refusing to settle for less. It's about giving yourself permission to rise above your current limits. You create a mental environment where success is the only option. And when your mind is set that way, your behavior follows. You start making better decisions, taking smarter risks, and working harder because you believe in yourself. So start today. Look in the mirror and tell yourself you are already who you want to be. Say it with conviction. Say it even if it feels fake at first. Your brain doesn't know the difference between real and imagine. It only knows what you repeat enough times. Speak like you're already winning, already strong, already unstoppable. Do it every day for 3 weeks, and you won't recognize the person you've become. Your mind is a machine, and the way you program it is through repetition. When you consistently tell yourself powerful, positive things, you're essentially rewiring the pathways in your brain. This rewiring changes the way you think, feel, and behave. The key is repetition over time. It's not enough to say something once or twice and expect a miracle. Your brain holds on to old beliefs and patterns that have built up over years, sometimes decades. To overwrite those, you need to be consistent, persistent, and relentless in your self-talk. Think of your brain like a groove in a record. Every time you say something, you're deepening that groove. If you keep playing the same weak or negative statements, the groove gets deeper and harder to change. But if you start playing strong, confident words over and over, you create new grooves that become the default track your mind plays. That's how habits form. The new words you say daily build new habits of thought and behavior that support your goals. This process takes time. Science shows it takes roughly 21 days to form a new habit, and that applies to self-talk too. When you repeat strong affirmations for 3 weeks straight, you're giving your mind the time it needs to adapt. After those 21 days, your brain starts to believe these new statements are true, and your behavior starts to shift naturally. What was once uncomfortable or forced becomes your new normal. Consistency in self-talk also builds mental resilience. When you make it a daily ritual to speak power into yourself, you're preparing your mind to face challenges. You become less likely to fall victim to doubt or fear because you have a steady stream of confidence fueling you. This steady positive reinforcement becomes a shield that protects you from negative thoughts and external criticism. Without consistency, all the positive self-talk in the world is just noise. You might feel motivated for a day or two, but without repetition, your old doubts come rushing back. That's why the real work isn't just about saying the right words. It's about saying them every day, no matter what. On the days you feel tired, scared, or unmotivated, that's when you need to talk to yourself the most. Push through the resistance and keep your self-talk strong. Over time, this consistency creates momentum. Small changes in how you think start to compound. Your confidence grows, your actions become more aligned with your goals, and your results improve. You stop being a victim of circumstance and start being the creator of your own destiny. This is how ordinary people turn into unstoppable forces. So don't underestimate the power of consistent, powerful self-talk. Make it a non-negotiable habit. Lock it in for 21 days straight and watch how your mind, your actions, and your life start to change. This is the foundation of all success. Without it, nothing else will stick. With it, you become a force to be reckoned with. When you talk to yourself, sometimes the truth doesn't matter as much as what you believe. Positive delusion means convincing yourself you're better, stronger, and more capable than your current reality might suggest. This isn't about ignoring facts or pretending to be someone you're not. It's about creating a powerful mindset that pushes you beyond your limits. Your brain doesn't distinguish well between what's real and what you vividly imagine or repeat often. So if you constantly tell yourself you're elite, unstoppable, or a winner, eventually your mind starts to accept that version as your reality. Most people get stuck in their current reality. They look around at their circumstances and say, this is who I am. But that mindset traps them in a fixed identity that rarely changes. Positive delusion breaks that chain. It says, I am not who I was yesterday, and I am not who my circumstances say I am. I am who I decide to become. This mindset is like a mental superpower. It lets you act with confidence, take risks, and pursue goals that seem out of reach to others. When you use positive delusion in your self-talk, you refuse to accept limiting beliefs. You say things like, I'm already living the life I want, even if your bank account or career doesn't match that yet. You say, I'm the best at what I do, even when you're still learning. These statements aren't lies. They're goals spoken as if they're already true. This changes how you behave. Instead of waiting for success to find you, you move as if success is already yours. You take actions with belief and certainty, and that energy attracts opportunities. The power of positive delusion also protects you from doubt and negativity. When you firmly believe you're elite or unstoppable, negative voices lose their power. You don't give room for fear or insecurity to grow. Those feelings try to creep in, but your strong self-talk pushes them back. It's like having a personal bodyguard for your mindset, keeping out toxic thoughts that could slow you down. This approach isn't about arrogance or ignoring reality. It's about creating a mindset that helps you grow and overcome challenges. Every champion in any field has used this kind of mental trick. They talk to themselves like winners before they've won. They act like leaders before they've been given a title. And because they believe deeply in their own power, they make others believe it too. Positive delusion takes practice and commitment. You have to say these powerful words every day, especially when doubt wants to sneak in. Over time, the gap between your positive self-talk and your current reality shrinks. Your thoughts change your emotions change your actions, and your actions change your life. In the end, the only thing stopping you from becoming who you want to be is the story you tell yourself. Change the story. Speak your positive delusion loud and clear. Believe in your greatness even before it's fully visible. Because once your mind believes it, your reality has no choice but to follow. Words don't just sit in your head, they ignite action. When you talk to yourself with power, your body and mind respond by moving to match those words. Think about it. If you constantly say, I'm lazy, or I'll never get this done, your energy drops, your focus fades, and your motivation disappears. You might start procrastinating or giving up before you even begin. Your words literally tell your brain how to behave, and if those words are weak, your actions will be weak too. On the flip side, when you say, I am focused, I get things done, or I don't quit, you're giving your brain a command to act. Your body responds with more energy and determination. Suddenly, you find yourself pushing harder, staying longer, and refusing to settle. This is not magic, it's cause and effect. Your words set the tone for your behavior, and your behavior shapes your results. This is why self-talk is so powerful. It's the trigger that starts the entire chain reaction. Strong words spark strong actions. Strong actions build habits. Habits lead to results, and results build confidence. When you control your self-talk, you control this entire cycle. You become the one who decides whether you move forward or stay stuck. Many people underestimate this connection. They focus on goals, plans, or strategies, but forget the foundation, the way they speak to themselves. Without powerful self-talk, those plans lose fuel. Motivation fizzles out. Doubt creeps in. But when your internal dialogue is sharp and commanding, it keeps you driving forward even when things get tough. This is why it's crucial to choose your words carefully. Every time you catch yourself slipping into negative self-talk, stop and replace those words with something strong and actionable. Instead of saying, "I'm too tired to work out," say, "I'm building strength every time I push through." Instead of, "I'll never finish this project," say, "I will finish it because I'm relentless." The truth is, your words aren't just thoughts. They are commands to your body and mind. If you want to change your life, start by changing how you talk to yourself. Say the words that make you act like a champion. Say the words that make you get up when you want to quit. Say the words that push you to be better every single day. When your self-talk triggers powerful action, your life changes. You become unstoppable. At the end of the day, how you talk to yourself is everything. Your words shape your mindset, your actions, and ultimately your life. If you want to level up, you have to start inside by commanding yourself with strength, belief, and relentless positivity every single day. The difference between winners and everyone else isn't luck or talent. It's the story they tell themselves and the way they speak to their own minds. So talk to yourself like a champion for 3 weeks straight. Watch how your confidence grows, your mindset sharpens, and your actions become unstoppable. This is the foundation of true success, built one powerful word at a time.